helping students keep track of their data is really important. This is something that as a parent you would want to do for your child. You know, you're paying attention if your child is attending school and has good attendance and stuff like that. But as a teacher, you can also be helping them in this area as well. So this is a day when the structure is a little different. You still start out the same way as always. So every single day, start in a circle, do a welcome, and do a warm-up. But then after that, you can figure out a way to kind of train your students to work on individual projects or rotate at stations or do something rather independent on this day. And we have suggestions for that, how to set it up. And then we want you to conference and meet with your students individually. So if you have time, you can meet with every student every week. If you don't have time, you can spread it out. Do you have any ideas or thoughts on that?
Yeah, and our school's a little different because it's set up a little differently with standards-based grading and things like that. But what we're hoping is during this time that every student can log into IC and look at their grades. And they can do that independently, and you can conference with whomever you have choice. There might be that rotation for you to really have discussions about it. We have, attendance might be something you want to talk with certain students. If they're continuously tardy, things like that in the morning. And we do attendance letters. And we also understand that young people don't control what time they leave the house or what time mom gets them into the car, dad gets them into the car and gets them here. But it's about what role do they play in it in the morning? Are they getting out of bed? We have these discussions at attendance meetings, but talk about how it affects you as the teacher, it affects their day, the other students' day that they're coming in late. This is a time where we can start to have those conversations about building those skills. We want students to feel in control of their grades, and this is where the advocacy part comes in too. If they're missing something in a class, it's about helping them to self-advocate, to go talk to that teacher. What can they do? What can be done to show that they've mastered a skill? What can be done to improve their scores in that class? In high school, it's grades. What can they do if they missed an assignment? What can they do if they failed a test? Can they retake it? But how do they go about making that happen? Yeah.
And one thing that you might want to talk about, especially the older grades, in the pods that day, maybe you just open up the pod and like students can go talk to the teacher that they need to work on that assignment or work with that teacher. Maybe that's just like a fluid time where you can work. One classroom could be, you know, working on your makeup work, or one classroom could be silent reading, or one classroom could be goal setting. You can work in your pods on how to make this the best time for you and your students.
It's a great idea.
Sorry, I have maybe just a quick recipe.
That's fine.
Do we have established expectations about like meeting with every student every day, or meeting with every student every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks? Like, do we have a pacing we need to make sure we're hitting when we're starting to think about planning this?
I think it depends on you and your classroom of students. If you can do a check-in with them, you can do that once a week. If it's something that you want to say, I'm conferencing with these 5 students today, everybody else needs to check their grades and do whatever, you know, whatever the pod decides. If it's go check in with teachers, work on work, read. I don't think it's possible to conference with every student in one day. So if that's something that you really want to have, if it's a check-in day, that's fine. But to really have meaningful conversations, you're not going to hit 25 students in 30 minutes. It's not possible.
How do we make this student data actionable? So you want to review, and you also want to have them set goals during this time. So this is a chance to, you know, review some ideas, review things, reflect on their successes, also their challenges, and then have them set goals. It could be personal, academic, or professional goals. And then have them set maybe one goal each week, and then the following week, you know, have them reflect on how they did and then set a new goal or up the ante a little bit. So there's a worksheet that's in the back of your binder that allows them to set goals in these 3 areas. So you could make copies and use that worksheet. Some schools have data notebooks or something on IC, something on a Google document. So you could find a way to keep it consistent and use the same format every time, but have them set goals and continue to reflect on them. You guys got a handout that's called Making Student Data Actionable with the Generation Schools. Can someone hold up that paper for me? So I just want you to know you have this. So that goes over different formats for reviewing student data together. You can do, there's some teacher-student strategies, the most basic, but you can also do some group strategies and have them, I know that can be tricky, so you gotta think through it. You might not want students sharing with each other or with a peer that they have an F in a class, and they might not want to be sharing that either. But you could do it on some of those more general things like, you know, sit in a group of 3 and share your personal or professional goal for this week, or you can find a way for those things that are able to be students to student, and you might want to implement that, or you can just keep it, you know, confidential between you and your students. It's kind of up to you, but you have some ideas on that handout.